Pause the song. Guess who's behind us right now? Auntie Erica in her bus, rocking a bunch of kids, getting them to school. Pretty awesome. It's good timing, you know? Your sister's out and about in the morning and you run into her different little parts. Oh, yes. What do we got? Wednesday. I'm listening to my cat rattle. It's a little rattle in there, and the new cat comes on Friday. And then I started YouTubing a bunch of stuff. So this beast is a V8, right? And so there were a lot of people that were like, oh, straight pipe it. Not get rid of the cats and all that stuff, but it's this giant muffler. Anyway, I'm like, I love researching stuff, seeing what other people do. I don't plan on putting $1 into this car, but it's fun to see people that take these things and do some pretty cool stuff with it. But the second you straight pipe it, this thing sounds like I don't know, like a big old truck. I'm afraid I like my quiet, you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with all that. Was up for a couple hours in the middle of the night, and the thing that helps me is some kind of audio. Let me listen to a story, let me listen to a podcast, let me listen to a sermon, something like that, you know. Let somebody else tell a story, because in my brain I was about to fall asleep. And at like 2 o'clock in the morning, good old Palmer, God love him, it's like, Dad, will you rub my feet? And I don't know if he said it, if he was awake. And I'm like, I struggle with this. No, dude, go back to sleep. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. And hopping up and doing it, you know? There's that thing that says, like, imagine that you're 88 years old and just for this day, you get to go back in time to when you are right now and live the day. And so I'm like, oh man, when I'm 88, I wished I had rubbed his feet, man. But right now, I don't want to rub his feet, you know? It's that whole, like, live as if you're going to die, live as if you're never going to die. How's that go? Hold on. Live as if you'll... Oh, man, I'm ashamed. Maybe it doesn't start with the live. I don't know. Something along the lines of live today like it was the last. Yeah, terrible. Sorry. That's all I got. Sometimes my brain doesn't work as well as it should. En la mañana. But that's okay, because it doesn't really have to work, you know? We're just here, having fun. But anyway, where I was going with that, I was up for a couple hours, and I was like, dude, I'm hungry. Maybe that's what's going on, you know? And I was like, should I get up and eat some food? The second I get up and eat some food, I'm afraid I'm up. I woke up at 12:34, and I was like, man, I got to get more sleep than that, you know? So anyway, when I woke up today, I was like, I need a big breakfast. And I got a big breakfast, and I was kind of eating everything in my sight. All good things, but maybe I was just making up for it. So I'm down a couple hours. Tank's a little low. I was able to have the big breakfast. Excuse me. Able to have the big breakfast, but no stinking coffee yet. So, that's fine though. When you sneeze, I'm pretty sure it's impossible to sneeze with your eyes open. So it's always sketchy sneezing while you're driving because you're like, wait, I got to close my eyes for a minute? That's not good, you know? But it's all good. Okay, where are we at? What do we got today? This is the part of the drive where my brain stops telling, stories and starts thinking about, I don't know, what's next, getting deep, stuff like that. Okay, little Corolla, I will get over for you. Where should we go with this? I got to meet a girlfriend of one of my students yesterday. That's always cool. Definitely proud of him. And then 2 other students from 2 years ago came by. Shout out Jaime and Juan for coming by. Juan has got some crazy, awesome, exciting, scary things going on in his life. And I'm rooting him on because what we were talking about is when you've got that fire lit underneath your booty, you tend to accomplish more. You tend to make bigger moves. You tend to have a little bit more ambition than those just running through life without a why. You know what I mean? Jaime's rocking out school, getting to somewhere good in the meantime, enjoying life, doing some fun stuff. But both have jobs. Both don't necessarily want to be at their jobs forever. Both want to level up. And both of them want to move out. And I think that's what I'm trying to tell to my kids right now is those that have jobs don't like their job. They want a different job. The second they get a different job, they don't want that job. They want a different job. Every single job has its pros and cons, per se. The girlfriend I got to meet yesterday is a CNA, certified nurse's assistant, which is a really cool, fun job, getting her to where she wants to go, but she definitely doesn't want to do it forever. She's already looking for the next best thing. I don't know. I think that was definitely me for a long time, you know? But I think kids are looking for a job because they just want to have a job, but I think it's just good to realize, hey, man, you're not going to enjoy that job. Rarely will you find fulfillment in it. And so I think you got to think about your next move, your next little spot. You got to think about where you want to end up ultimately. Somebody messaged me, a student of mine, was like, dude, I finally figured out what I want to do. I've been afraid of being stuck in a cubicle, but I don't want to work outside, sweating through my clothes. What's up, Liz? And he's going x-ray technician. And I'm like, cool. You know, this guy's had 3 jobs over the last year, and none of them panned out to be anything exciting. So I think you do, not stressing you out, but you do got to think about where you want to be ultimately. End goal, you know? Because I think if you don't try to plan ahead when it comes to educations or credentials or certificates or diplomas or whatever it is, I'm afraid, I'm not really afraid, but I'm afraid that if you don't think too far ahead, 5 years down the road when you're like, all right, I'm overdoing this. I want the next best thing. The next best thing requires certain credentials. I'll put it on here. Some high school classes are dual enrolled. Dual enrolled meaning kids get high school credit and college credit. I have taught a dual enrollment class, meaning I was considered an adjunct professor at BC, and I taught the career explorations class. And when kids passed my class, they also got college credit. Good, right? Drone operator and entrepreneurship. Sweet, let's find an entrepreneurship class at BC. I, about a month ago, sent in all my stuff, and they're like, sadly, you don't meet the requirements. Your master's degree is in something else. Your bachelor's isn't in something else. We're not going to use your years of experience. Thanks, but no thanks. And I was like, oh, snap. It's a different class. Very business class. It was a weird thing, though, to be turned down. And I was like, okay, let me figure this out. What am I supposed to be learning here? You know what I mean? What's the takeaway? And Cal State Bakersfield, I guess, is a lot more friendly to go through. And so maybe that's going to be the course. But trying to get my kids college credit would be the coolest thing ever. But if you don't meet the minimum requirements, you know what I mean? So as you are figuring it out, make sure you are doing things to meet the stinking minimum requirements. So that after all the little jobs here and there, you're like, hey, this is where I want to be ultimately. This is what I want to do long term. And as a teacher, I don't want to say I'm going to do this forever. I would gladly do this for another good long time, but who knows what the good Lord has in store. But I have definitely enjoyed the peace and job description and impact on kids and my kids and the schedule. Again, pros and cons. I could definitely list a couple cons working with high school kids, but you gotta love them. And some of them were staring at me just now. So, peace out, YouTube.